Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm going to be creating this sultry, smoky look. This look was actually inspired by Scarlett Johansson at the Oscars this year. I loved her everything she had going on that day. She had a really deep plunging V-neck, emerald green dress, and she had this really intense choker on that had tons of beading. I think she was voted one of the worst dressed on the red carpet, but I loved it. I think she looked awesome. She also has like a men's undercut haircut going on. I just kind of slicked back my hair and bobby pinned the sides to make it look like I have an undercut. I definitely don't plan on getting an undercut anytime soon, but I just really like the look that she had. So the makeup look that I made in this video, this smoky one, is not really inspired by ScarJo's makeup that she had at the Oscars. I kind of wanted to do my own thing just because I just felt like the whole look was really edgy and I wanted to do something a little bit more dramatic with the makeup, but I loved everything else that she had going on. So anyway, I'm gonna be creating this soft, sultry look for you guys, so let's go ahead and get started. First, what I'm going to do is apply this brightening serum and spot corrector. This is from Ecotons, some French something. This is a serum that helps with hyperpigmentation, so I'm just gonna add it around the eye area and a little bit around my lips. Now I'm gonna go ahead and prime my skin. Today I'm gonna use the NYX Angel Veil Skin Perfecting Primer. I use this in my all NYX video, and I don't really have I don't know. It applies really nicely onto the skin, around the nose and just around the eyes, so I'm just gonna keep using it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add my under eye concealer, and today I'm going to try out this new one. This one's called Boo Boo Cover Up Concealer. This is in the shade Medium, and this one has a really full coverage, so if you have dark circles, it'll be amazing. And to apply it, I'm gonna use this Crown brush. This is a Crown C224 concealer brush. You can use this obviously to apply concealer or any cream-based products. And I'm just gonna apply it right on the inner corners of both eyes and then lightly buff it out. So for foundation today, I'm using, of course, my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. This has been my favorite lately. It's just has really amazing coverage and it looks really good on my skin. And this is in the shade 106, which is Sun Beige. And I'm applying it with a Morphe G2 brush. Okay, now I'm gonna highlight a little bit underneath the eye area, and I'm going to use the L'Oreal Magic Lumi highlighter. This is in the shade number shade light, I guess. I do like this one. I still think it's pretty expensive. This one was like $13 and the one from MAC is like $17. So it's kind of crazy for a drugstore price point, but it is a really nice highlighter. Oh, okay. Okay, now to set the under eye area, I'm gonna take this stuff. This is the same stuff I used in my drugstore video, the Wet n Wild Cover All Pressed Powder in the shade Light. And this is a hair and makeup addiction brush called the Chiseler, even though I'm not gonna be chiseling with it. So I like to use that powder to actually set the under eye area so it doesn't budge and move around everywhere. Now just to brighten up around the eye area just a little bit and make it a little bit warmer so it's not quite as white. I'm gonna take this yellow shade, this is from the NYX Contour and Highlight Palette, and then just lightly add that on top. And now I'm gonna lightly set the rest of my face. And to do that, I'm gonna use the Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is the matte poreless one. The shade is 220 Natural Beige, and I'm just gonna use a dual fiber brush just so it adds a really light application. To contour my cheekbones today, oh man. I was gonna use the NYX Cream Palette to contour a little bit on the nose, but I forgot, I already put powder on, and I don't wanna mix it. Anyway, to contour my cheekbones today, I'm gonna try this out for the first time. I haven't even used it yet. This is the City Color Highlight Contour Palette. I'm just gonna use the contour shade in here really lightly and carve out the cheekbones. Okay, so I just used a really tiny bit out of here and it's pretty intense. So you gotta be careful, but it is pretty good. It's a nice matte contour shade that's not too warm, so I like it. All right, so we got some fierce cheekbones going on now. Oof. Ooh, girl. Okay, so I'm gonna add a subtle contour just right in here, just to add a little bit of shading. And to do this, I am going to be using Sculpt from MAC just because I don't want anything too intense. So that's this shade right here, and this is a hair and makeup addiction brush. This is the Crease Blender. The reason I'm using the Sculpt shade is because it's a lot softer than the other contour colors that I have. Also, it doesn't apply as much product as the NYX palette does, and I definitely don't want like a really strong nose contour. I want it to be pretty subtle. Dude, see this? Those lines, they're never gonna go away. Right here. And for bronzer today, I'm gonna use this one from the Balm. This is Bahama Mama. And I'm gonna use a Bare Minerals brush. This is the Flawless Face Brush. And for blush today, I kind of want to mix two. It's like, you know, because I love to wear blush. So I'm going to apply a little bit of this one. This is the City Color Be Matte Blush in the color Papaya, which is like my fave ever right now. And then I'm going to mix it with this one from NYX. This is the color Nude, right? Nude, oh, this is the color Nude Tude from NYX. So I just want to mix them. I think that's good for now. If we want to add more later, we can always add more. I just don't want to overdo it. This one, I actually ended up using this one more so than the Papaya shade just because I want it to be really subtle. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to the eyes. I think I'm ready. And I'm going to add an eyeshadow base. This is the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. And I'm using a Luxie 120, just a round brush to apply it.
I literally have like no hydration in my skin right now. I feel like
all the moisture's been sucked out of my face. I don't know what's going on. I should have used something more hydrating to prime, or even just a moisturizer. I don't even know if I put moisturizer on today. Maybe that's why. So sometimes I can anticipate if I'm gonna have like a difficult eyeshadow day, like I know it's gonna wanna like be skippy and jumpy and bad. So today what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna apply a sheer setting powder to my lid before I apply eyeshadow. And I'm going to use this one from NYX. This is the NYX HD finishing powder. This says it's in the shade Banana, but I'm pretty sure it's just sheer. I'm just gonna add a little bit right on top of the paint pot. Just that way I know what I'm working with. I'm gonna put my eyebrows on now, and today I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Medium Brown with a mini liner brush from Crown. Sometimes it helps me to do my eyebrows before I do my eyeshadow, just that way I have a little bit better of a guide as to what my face looks like. For our eyes, to add a nice shimmery, summery glow to our face, we're gonna add this eyeshadow. This is the Apricot Glow from Pixie, and I'm gonna apply this shade first, this one on the left, the more warm one. And I'm gonna use one of my fluffier MAC 217 brushes. You stink. So I'm gonna come back in with this NARS Galapagos shadow and just kind of blend it in as my next transition color. And I'm using a much smaller MAC 217 brush, like one of the oldest ones I have. So I'm gonna go back in with the first MAC 217 brush and the Apricot shadow one more time and just kind of buff everything together and make it look nice and neat. So I'm gonna come in with the MAC 219 brush, and I'm not gonna use the Urban Decay black because I don't want it to be like that intensely black. So I'm gonna come in with this black shadow. This is from Lorac, the Mega Pro palette. Any black eyeshadow would work. I just know that the black eyeshadow that I normally use is like really, really intensely black, and I don't want it to be that dark. So I'm just gonna come in here and add and kind of smoke it out on the outer V. Whenever I use black eyeshadow and I wanna do a smoky eye, I always keep the black right below my actual, like my natural crease. Whenever I bring black eyeshadow above that, it tends to look like I have a black eye, like it's just way too much. So that's kind of like the rule that I use when I add black eyeshadow to my lid. I just keep it right below the natural crease of my lid. What I am gonna do is come back in with the brown eyeshadow and just blend right up in that crease a little bit just to make it a little bit smoother. Now I'm gonna take the Pixie Apricot shadow and bring it to my lower lash line. And now I'm gonna add the black eyeshadow right underneath the apricot. All right, and now for the rest of the lid. I was thinking about doing something matte, but I'm actually gonna take the other shadow in here. This is like a warm peachy color. And I'm just gonna pack that right on the inner corner. Maybe I'll use my finger. No, I'll use this brush. I'm gonna use a little flat shader brush. I don't know why I'm using such a huge brush. I'm gonna use my finger instead.
the brush is like way too big.
So now I'm gonna add some black liner to my waterline, and this is the NYX Pitch Black Gel Pencil Liner. All right, so now I'm gonna go back into the top lash line and just buff a little bit of black eyeshadow in there, just that way you can't see the lashes when I put them on. And then I'm also going to set my waterline with black eyeshadow and smudge just a tiny bit into the lower lash line. So now I'm gonna curl my lashes and apply some mascara, and today I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Okay, so now I want to put on some false lashes. because I really want to. I don't know what lashes I want to use though. I've been using these, the wispies from Ardell, like every single day. Let me try some different ones out. What? Oh God. So I do have these. These are, oh, dang. I feel like I already know I'm gonna wear wispies. All right, so I'm just gonna wear some good old Ardell wispies. You can't go wrong. So to go in and add a little bit of highlight, I feel like I've come across so many really good highlights lately. It's very hard to like actually pick out which one I wanna use. But I wanna go with something a little bit more subtle and, you know, not crazy. So I'm gonna use this one from NYX. This is the Sun-Kissed Radiant Finishing Powder. You can actually add this all over your face as a So when I've had this for like a year and I never even noticed it. When I first looked at it, I thought it was matte. But when you look at it in light, it's actually very glimmery, not shimmery, but glimmery. Two very different things. And I'm just gonna come in on this bronze side and just kind of tap tap and kind of hit up my forehead a little bit. So I'm switching brushes. That brush was a little bit too dense. I'm gonna come back in with this one. This is my highlighting brush. It's from Crown. It's just like a little duo fiber tapered brush. And now I'm gonna come in and just kind of blend this quadrant over here, if you will, and just add that right to the tops of the cheekbones. All right, you're driving me crazy. You gotta go. All right, so now we're ready to finish off this look with some lips, and I definitely wanna go for something more nude and subtle today. So I'm just gonna really lightly line my lips using this liner. This is from LA Girl, the Endless Liner in the color Natural. And then for lipstick, I wanted to use something a little bit more full coverage, so I'm using this one from NYX. This is their Butter Lipstick in the color Pops. And I love like the really subtle pink shade that it has, but I wanted to add a little bit more nude, so I'm mixing it with this one from Dose of Colors. This is the lipstick in Poise. Okay, so we're all done with the makeup. I feel like you could wear this at work during the day, and then if you wanted to, you could intensify it and just add more black eyeshadow for a nighttime look. But other than that, that wraps up this makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Oh, one more thing I wanted to talk to you about actually was a lot of you have been asking about my nails lately, so I did just get them done today, and this is not the shape. I had a new person, and so she gave me kind of a different shape than what I wanted. These are a little bit more like oval or almondy than what I typically get, but in the last few videos, I've had more of like a squarish nail, and it was a very sheer, natural color. So these are acrylics. That's what I had before. They were acrylic nails, and the shape is ballerina. If you Google ballerina nails, take that to your nail person. That's exactly what I had before. And then the polish that I had before was by Essie. It was called Mademoiselle. I love that look. That's what you want to do with like fresh acrylics before you get any fills or anything. Although I am obsessed with the polish that I have on now. This one is from Milani. This is their color statement polish, and the color is Periwink. I know on Snapchat I said it was Periwinkle, but it's called Periwink. And it came in the Ipsy bag this month, which Zoe is loving right now. Anyway, we are all wrapped up with this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching.